Okay, part 2. Now, with all that being said, we're going to move on. And I have read over the years several books on JonBenet. The first one I read was Who Killed JonBenet by Cyril Wetch or whatever. And then I've also read Foreign Faction by James Keeler. And I've also read JonBenet by Steve Thomas. And I've also read several bolder articles from the newspapers at the time, clippings from back in the 90s when the scenario was that the mother had done something to the daughter over bedwetting, because that was the initial in 1996. That was the word on the street, that's what happened. And so that scenario got played, but that was in 1996. That's what was the talk of the town, the little T, okay? Or an intruder came in and did this horrible thing, okay, the Santa Claus or whoever. Now, with that being said, you have to be careful when you say anything on TikTok, because they take everything down. But I want to come with you with some factual things that you may not know if you have never read those books. And these things are the things that these documentaries and these narratives that her dad plays out every couple of years, and every 5 years we're catching a new killer, we have new DNA evidence. I'll talk about that in a much later video, but I wasn't prepared for that. It actually just hit me when I said it, that I want to talk about that. But because we talk about narcissism and guilty consciences and people that like to control narratives, and rich people that like to control narratives, and the people that can afford to control the narrative, and the people that help them do that because they may be a part of it. So and a lot of those, in all 3 of those books, they all come from different perspectives. So Who Killed JonBenet mostly is getting to the point where the intruder, with all the investigating that they did and whatever case studies that they found on this situation, it never ever looked like it was an intruder. Even from an unbiased point of view, just from a case study point of view. It doesn't, an intruder comes in and takes, a kidnapper comes in and takes, he doesn't write 3-page ransom letters like a love letter. He doesn't have the same handwriting as your wife. He doesn't use your notepads and pens and papers and takes your daughter out the bed in this labyrinth of maze. I'm gonna link their house layout in down below, because I want you guys to actually see the layout of this house. That nobody that you don't know came into your house and waited on you. They might have accidentally went into your room trying to take her out of her room. They would have never found that basement unless they had the full architectural layout of your home. It was too much, which is another thing we have to be. It reminded me of a Winchester mansion, if you know what I mean, or a Diddy mansion with tunnels, halls, mazes, walls that go to nowhere. All kind of crap. And they surely didn't find your kitchen, go into the kitchen, feed your baby, whatever. Okay, so with us moving on from that, in Steve Thomas's book, he really did come to the conclusion that he felt like the mother had something to do with it, and that it was because of a fit of rage. In James Keller book, he doesn't ever say who did anything. He completely lays out straight facts, the autopsy report, whatever. And at the end of his book, he tried several times to go to I forgot who she is. She's the lady. And when I tell you something, I'm gonna go back and find out her exact name. I'm in the book. I should have been prepared for that. But he went to her and told her, we need to present this to the, grand jury. And I have a whole case, study on this. And this is my conclusions, because they asked him to help. This is way in 2009. They asked him to help with the case. And his conclusion was that the family should definitely be investigated. And her response to him was, no, because I don't want to ruin the relationship between the family and her. And he was like flabbergasted. So with that being said, that takes me back to 1996. So nobody wanted to ruin their relationship with that family. Probably not the police department, the DA, whoever they're saying is in cahoots. They didn't want to ruin their reputation with that family either. Because for some reason, this family is a family you do not want to have mad at you. Whatever. I don't know what that means. But I notice a lot of people don't want the Ramseys mad at them. Okay. I'm about to break your mind when I tell you this if you hadn't read the book. Everybody keeps harping on this DNA evidence. That DNA evidence is trace DNA. They keep saying, well, the DNA didn't point to the parents. That is a lie. Go read the books from the FBI. Go read the case study. All the DNA on that child pointed to her mother. There was a half handprint on the door to the basement. Only the mother's. There was hair found on JonBenét, like one hair, maybe an eyelash, maybe like we're not gonna say hair because it was just like they say it's too minute to even, but it belonged to Patsy Ramsey. And these are facts that you would only know if you read those books. The duct tape that they put on after they did whatever they did to her only had that red sweater that Patsy had on that night on the inside of it, not even on the outside of it. Her DNA was only on JonBenét. Nobody else. Trace DNA means that somebody from the lab who might have made the panties might have touched it. That's why they can't conclusively do DNA tests in 2024 on it. It's too minute and it's too irrelevant. The relevant DNA points to Patsy Ramsey. You don't have to believe me, but I've read it. Go read the books from the people that worked on it, the case, the FBI, crime scene analysis, people that don't have, they're there to help them try to find who saw their daughter, which is something that the Ramseys have never been interested in, except for John, who keeps trying to convince you guys that he's interested in it to continue to pay off whoever he owes. I don't know, whatever, or to make him, make sure they never really investigate this and it stays like it is. I really don't know what his motive is. I believe it's just guilt, and I believe it goes higher than that. It's higher powers behind that telling him, yeah, keep on talking about it. So we don't have to, when you die, whatever, I don't know. We don't hear this stuff because it's a lot of people probably that know exactly what happened and they're part of it and they don't want that exposed. There was nobody's else DNA there. So we'll have a part 3. This is getting long and interesting.